It must have seemed like old times as fans eagerly awaited the most anticipated early round match of the 1992 U.S. Open, Connors versus Lendl. This was their 36th meeting. Polar opposites in style, each had abundant success as proof that their way worked best. Between them, 200 career singles titles and very little love lost.
Myself and Mac, we had a very special thing with Borg when he was playing, and we had a triangle there where the tennis and the excitement and the attitudes kind of all clashed. Lendl, in some way, was left out of there. I don't know if he was biding his time at that point of his career or not, or waiting for me to get old and McEnroe to kind of take a sabbatical and Borg to stop or what. But if he would have entered in and played, started playing his best tennis at that time and made a square instead of a triangle, we could have really had something special.
So this was prime time at the Open. A Friday night at the fights with a New York crowd ready to spur their main man on. In set one, Connors didn't disappoint the masses, playing a brand of tennis more reminiscent of 1982 than 92. Connors was on the attack, taking aim at his first win over Lendl in 17 tries. Jimmy could do no wrong. This was set point. It was an auspicious sign for Connors, who was 89-1 at the Open when taking the opening stanza. One set in the bag, and with the crowd in a frenzy, Ivan Lendl had to know the early stages of set number 2 were crucial if he hoped to stem the Connors tide. To accomplish this, Lendl launched a barrage of slice backhands to Connors' forehand, Jimmy's weaker side, clearly planning to induce more unforced errors. Although the strategy would be a source of Connors' ridicule later, it worked to perfection. And when Connors offered Lendl the opening he needed, Lendl blasted through. Soon the sets were even at 1-1, and the momentum pendulum had swung squarely to Lendl's side. Even when he appeared down and out of a point, Ivan's creativity carried him through. Set 3 to Lendl, much to the satisfaction of wife Samantha. As the fourth set got underway, Connors did everything to ward off defeat, but what little he had left was sapped by points like this one. Unlike his opponent, Ivan Lendl never had established a true bond with the people. The stern resolve that is his trademark has always stood as a barrier between him and the outward affection of the U.S. Open crowds. In truth, it is that stern resolve and unyielding will that made Lendl the most dominant U.S. Open force of the 1980s. On this night, he came to Stadium Court and dismantled the people's choice. Lendl won 3-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-love. Connors departed with a quick wave and then fired a parting shot at Lendl.
He doesn't play anything like he used to. Before, he used to come over that backhand. Now he's very satisfied with bunting the ball back, which is different than the way he used to play. He used to come over the ball and just whack the ball from the baseline, and I don't think he does that much anymore.
That's the way I have been playing against Jimmy for a long time now, and it has been working for me very well. I don't know, last 8 years or so, and I couldn't see any reason for change.
Even though it was over for 1991's hero, as Jimmy Connors disappeared into the night, it was clear that for tennis and its fans, Connors wins by just showing up. Fans at the '92 Open knew that the tournament was just heating up. Time to savor all the varieties of tennis life in New York.
It's like no other racket in the history of the sport.
The singles competition remained the focal point, but doubles was garnering its share of attention due to the exploits of the Wimbledon champions, John McEnroe and Michael Stich, who in a comeback win versus Sergio Casal and Emilio Sanchez demonstrated classic doubles style. The two put on a dazzling display of comeback victories until they succumbed to the eventual champions, Jim Grob and Richie Renneberg. Seniors and legends were also on display at the Open, and while they may not be as fit as they once were, players like Ilie Nastase have not lost any of their charisma.
Again, here.
The mood of Asagi Stadium was brightened with superstar Andre Agassi's second primetime appearance in round 4 that began 2 hours late. By the time Agassi's match with Carlos Costa was complete, the tabloids had more than just rock and roll tennis to write about. Costa is a quality baseliner. Unfortunately for the 10th seed, the surface on which he excels is clay, not DecoTurf 2. The match's most dramatic moments came in set 1, where Agassi needed a handful of set points before capturing the opening stanza 6-4. The colorful Las Vegas native cruised through the next 2 sets more easily. He dropped only 5 more games the rest of the way. The night's most compelling news was to be found among the crowd, where superstar Barbra Streisand was taking in the main event with a special eye for a new friend.
He's very, very intelligent, very, very sensitive, very evolved. More than his, linear years. He's an extraordinary human being. He plays like a Zen master.
Andre mastered the Spaniard and cruised to his 11th straight Grand Slam match triumph. As week 2 got underway, Pete Sampras was just happy to still be around. In round 3, qualifier Todd Martin had taken Sampras to 5 sets before succumbing. The match, though, had left the number 3 seed's body ravaged. The last thing he needed was another 5-set marathon, but that's exactly what Frenchman Guy Forget presented to his American counterpart in the 4th round. The match was typical Sampras. At times he was a world beater, like in the initial set, which he won 6-3. Then in sets 2 and 3, he won only 2 games. An alarming figure for a player with one of the tour's most dominating serves. But the beauty of a 5-set match lies in its length. And provided a player continues to fight, momentum can swing often. As Sampras said after the match, he was not going to quit, and when he needed it, his game righted itself. For Forget, the day became one to forget, as Sampras survived in 5 sets. A particularly sweet victory against the man who defeated him in 1990 to clinch the Davis Cup tie for France.
Game, set, match, Sampras. 6-3, 1-6, 1-6, 6-4, 6-3.